Hi, I'm Melissa Mansfield. Welcome to Green Festival TV. We're here at the Seattle Green Festival with the mayor of Seattle, Gregory Nickels. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, what is Seattle doing to be a green city?
Well, we're doing a lot, and the main thing that we're doing right now is we're essentially having a campaign. And that campaign is to convince people that there are things that you can do in your own home, your own business, your own neighborhood that will make a difference and help us to protect the climate, protect the planet. And we call that Seattle Climate Action Now. It gives people a chance to do something as simple as change a light bulb or shorten their shower, or just understand how we affect the planet with all of the actions that we have every day.
So we don't really have to wait for the federal government. How are localities already making a difference?
Well, when the Kyoto Protocol came into law in 141 countries, but not the United States, in Seattle we stood up and said we would reduce our emissions voluntarily by that same amount. And we asked other cities to join with us. And now 830 cities across America have taken that pledge. And that represents 79 million Americans. 1 in 4 Americans lives in a city that's trying to figure out how do we do that. And it's about the population of Germany. So we've made it a movement in this country that's changed the conversation. The next step is to make sure we walk our talk, that we do get those reductions, and we show people that their individual actions, even though this is a global challenge, that there is a need for each of us, household by household, to change how we behave. And that's what Climate Action Now is about.
Now, one easy step for a household to do is to use reusable bags when they go to the grocery store, and Seattle is leading the way with a bag initiative. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we took a look at what some other cities were doing. San Francisco's banned plastic bags. We were concerned with that approach because paper is just as bad. So if you move people from plastic to paper, you actually have 4 times worse effect on the environment. So we came up with an approach similar to what Ireland did, where you can still use plastic, you can still use paper, but it's going to cost you 20 cents a bag. Now, it turns out that in a city Seattle size, we use 360 million disposable bags a year, 600 for every man, woman, and child. So if we can reduce that by 70%, we've had a huge impact on what is going into the landfill. And so we're trying to get people to think about how they shop in a different way. And we started the conversation. The council will adopt, hopefully, my proposal in June. And January 1st, you'll pay a fee. Then the money that we raise through the fee will be used for recycling and environmental programs. So the people who choose to continue to use those will still be contributing positively to the environment, but they'll see what that cost is.
And are there still some areas where you're trying to go green, but it's still a challenge and you're not quite there?
Well, I have to be honest on the bag issue. You know, for 20 years, they've asked us paper or plastic, and we answered often plastic, because as our kids were growing up, we used those for the diapers, the dirty diapers, and it got to be a habit. So we're breaking that habit. And about half the time I get to the front of the checkout line, and I have a Homer Simpson moment. You know, I left the bag in the car. Change doesn't necessarily come easily, but it can happen.
And what would you advise to citizens who aren't lucky enough to live in Seattle but really want to make a difference in local government to go green? What should they do?
You know, each one of us has a responsibility. There's an old saying that I like, and that is, because we don't think about the next generation, they'll never forget us. I think that's an awful legacy to leave. So by thinking about the effect each activity that we engage in has, and trying to change it, maybe just a little bit, maybe dramatically, but maybe just a little bit, we can have that effect. Your neighbor will be watching, your neighbor will emulate what you do, then your neighborhood will be emulated by other neighborhoods, your city by other cities, and eventually we've got the whole world going in a direction that we can be proud to hand off to our kids.
Well, and it really does spread from city to city, and Green Festival is a great example of that. Green Festival, this is the first year in Seattle, so how do you feel about having the festival here?
Well, I'm really proud. I think it's just a great way for people to come in, take a look at some of the products, some of the things that they can use that are fun and help lead the way. So we're really proud that Green Festival's here.
Great tips from the mayor of Seattle, Gregory Nickels, here at the Seattle Green Festival. And of course, if you want to learn more about how to go green in your life, log on to greenfestivals.org. I'm Melissa Mansfield. See you next time on Green Festival TV.